Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
Your Lord of Pennies is here as well. Almost said the other one. How you doing, Satsu?
Pretty good.
I am your host, the Lord of Pain, and I haven't slept very well and had a rough day. So it's going to be an interesting one. Strap in, folks. We're taking you for a ride down a bumpy lane on hump day. How you like that? Better hope we don't run out of gas. Scribe, other than being incredibly tired, how are you?
I'm okay. It was a long work day and then stuff. And then here I am, rock me like a hurricane.
All right. Satsu, how you doing, man? You good today?
I'm good. I'm already topped off on my daily dose of stupidity, so I might be extra annoyed tonight about news, depending on how fucking stupid it is. So we'll see. We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, I had an interesting day. I got to talk to a lot of my local law enforcement this morning. That was fun.
Yeah.
Ooh, because you're about to be flooded by a broken dam?
No.
Oh.
As people who were on Twitter earlier today know, I'm on the other side of the state. I've debated how I was going to deal with this, and I think I'm going to do it right now. I was doxxed this morning publicly on Twitter. Some jackass actually put out all of my information. He is not the first person who has found my information. Mm-hmm. Several people have found my information before. One that comes to mind is Cryptic. Cryptic found my information quite by accident and brought it to my attention in private because he's a nice guy. He's not a douchebag. I've expected to be doxxed. It's just something that happens, you know, and
right.
Especially being somebody who likes to tell stupid people how stupid they are. I'm surprised it went 3.5 years before it went public. Other than the fact that it upsets my wife and puts my family in danger, I don't really care about being doxxed. You guys, I don't give a fuck. But it happened, is what it is, and I'm moving on with life. So on the plus side, I might, be able to go back to credit cards on PayPal or on Streamlabs.
Right.
Because now I don't have to give a fuck. It's already out there. So we'll see what happens with that, guys. But it's no big deal. Happened. It's over. And if you guys do see my information and you bring it to my attention, I appreciate it. But is what it is. And with that, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games, hit that like button, guys, and share our stuff. Not our personal details, mind you. See, now I can have fun with it. But yeah, please share our videos and streams, and not just for us, for anybody you like, because YouTube is not that caring.
Yeah, they don't give no fucks.
They don't believe in that caring and sharing stuff. Because they ask hows.
That's how.
Scribbles, we got news tonight?
Sure.
Oh, Angry Illinoisan, thank you. As long as you and your family are safe is all I care about. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So, per the title of the show, let's talk about Elon Musk. Musk, we talk about him? So this is from The Atlantic, of all places, because why not? The cult of Elon is cracking.
Dun, dun, dun.
The SpaceX and Tesla CEO's response to the coronavirus pandemic is starting to alienate his fans. Elon Musk has famously devoted fans. They can be found buying Tesla cars, watching SpaceX launches, and praising Musk on Twitter. To his fan base, Musk is a visionary, an idol, even a climate superhero. Some of that reputation stems from Musk's transformation from nerdy internet millionaire to suave manufacturing billionaire. Okay. According to Musk mythology, he's even the inspiration for an actual superhero, Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of the charmingly brilliant Tony Stark in the 2008 Iron Man film. No, Tony Stark is a combination of Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr. I don't know what else to tell you. It is a hyper version of Robert Downey Jr. combined with the character of Tony Stark as appears in the comic books. So there you go.
If anything, I would say Elon Musk is a portrayal of Robert Downey Jr.
Mm.
Real quick, Cryptic, thank you. My friend Ty came first in the Beijing Marathon, but wasn't awarded a gold medal. The Chinese refused to acknowledge Taiwan. Taiwan. Get it? Anyway, thank you for the donation.
Yeesh.
Thank you for explaining that to me, Monkey.
It wasn't for you. It was for anybody out there who didn't get it.
Yeah,
So
Scribe, everything about you.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Do you think our audience is stupid?
When did you get so conceited?
Right.
I don't know. I guess I took a compliment to heart the other day.
The isolation's getting to your head, man.
It is, man. You got to get out.
I got to be more self-deprecating. That's my problem.
No, please be less. Good Lord.
In the past 15 years since, Musk's profile has risen, growing ever Starkian, as if prophesized. Really? He built an Iron Man suit? I mean, I could believe it if he did, but I want to know that he did.
Real quick, I'm sorry, over on the Streamlabs. Thank you so much, Evolved Potato. Now that you've been doxxed, do you think it's time to start up the Monkey Makeup channel? Remember, that was never about me not being able to be doxxed. That was that I don't have internet good enough to do it. I wish I did.
Meanwhile, his admirers have become only more notorious. And there's a hyperlink to something, and I don't know what that means. Why don't you give us context? Don't. Okay. A few months ago, it would have been nearly impossible to imagine Musk's world-saving sheen wearing off in the eyes of his fans. But that was before the coronavirus pandemic. In the past few months, Musk has downplayed the dangers of the virus, offered unfounded predictions about how many Americans it will infect, and falsely claimed that children are, quote, essentially immune, unquote, to COVID-19. He has called over and over again for rolling back the widespread measures put in place to slow the spread of the virus, a move that public health officials believe could be lethal. Believe could.
Wait a minute. We also need to let you know that the media didn't do any of these things. Yeah. It was all Elon Musk. And also, I'm really triggered by the term slow the effects of the virus or the spread of the virus now. Now that my conspiracy theory has totally kicked in and I'm convinced that that is exactly what they're trying to do. Whenever I hear that, I'm just like, that sounds like a good thing to you guys, but not the way that you think.
Let's drag out its presence.
Yes, as long as we possibly can.
Guys, I'm so sorry. I missed this. Was just brought up in chat. This was from before the show. Tumbleweed, thank you. As always, thanks for the entertainment and perspective. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much.
It's Cryptic's birthday.
It is. It is.
Cryptic, it was just your birthday last year. Shut the fuck up. What?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. What?
Okay. Cryptic, this one's for you.
No, we'll finish the story and then get his birthday.
Oh, you want to set aside celebrating one of our most loyal fans? Okay,
Cryptic,
that's fine. No, if you want to do that,
if you want to do twice that, already.
I will. No, hey, I haven't. Have I?
Everything's not about you, Scribe.
No, have
we just told you that?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
We just had this discussion.
Discussion? A discussion implies an exchange, Monkey. It's all been one-sided.
Well, there were two on this side.
Yeah, exactly. I've been outnumbered. Dog piled on. Jesus.
Cryptic, it's your birthday, and around here we do this. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
All that bitching, and that's what you get, Cryptic.
Happy birthday to you.
You think you're a joke, Cryptic.
Happy birthday,
Cryptic.
Hope you had a good birthday, dude.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Cryptic. I hope you had a good one. Yeah. Very, very long time, wonderful supporter of the show, man. I really do hope you had a great birthday, man.
Yes, my house is full of ramen because of you. Thank you.
And nobody bring up undocumented illegals around him.
Let's see. Where did I leave off? Musk defied local stay-at-home orders and reopened his Tesla assembly plant in California, bringing thousands of employees to work. Quote, I will be on the line with everyone else, he tweeted last week as operations restarted. Quote, if anyone is arrested, I ask that it only be me. Twitter is Musk's main mode of communication with the public, including his fans. Well, his fans are the public. Okay. During other moments of Muskian controversy, Muskian. The tweet that led to fraud charges and cost him his Tesla chairmanship, or the time he got sued for calling a rescue diver a pedo guy. You could count on finding a chorus of support in the replies to Musk's tweets, his admirers unwilling to consider any criticism of their hero.
Cryptic, thank you. Thank you all, but hell, I offered to pay you not to sing. I did not see that. I would have taken your money and sang anyway, because why are you going to pay me not to sing?
Yeah, pay me not to sing. I do it all bad all the time.
Hey, can you read that last part again? I just want to make sure that I understood it correctly.
Offered to pay you not to sing?
No. I was the story. I'm still.
I'll wait until the monkey gets to super chat.
Jordan, thank you so much. Though you all continue to not be Jack, I still like you guys. That's very kind of you.
Okay, so the last part. Twitter is Musk's main mode of communication with the public, including his fans. During other moments of Muskian controversy, the tweet that led to fraud charges and cost him his Tesla chairmanship, or the time he got sued for calling a rescue diver a pedo guy, you could count on finding a chorus of support in the replies to Musk's tweets, his admirers unwilling to consider any criticism of their hero.
Okay, so that was in reference to the old stuff.
Yes, that was a aside.
Okay. All right.
I like that they didn't mention that he was cleared in that, or that he won the case with that guy he called a pedo.
Yeah.
Seems germane.
But now, for the first time, Musk appears to have alienated even some of his most devout supporters. Fans are voicing their discomfort and even dissent directly to Musk on Twitter, knowing that he might see it. Last month, the top tweet beneath Musk's demand to free America now and let workers return to their businesses was a bite-sized study in cognitive dissonance. Quote, "My first disagreement with my idol," frowny face. Oh no! Why do we care?
Well, here's the reason that this is significant to them is because on their side, the way that they operate, anytime you disagree with anybody for anything, that they immediately makes you their enemy. Like you're like, well, that's how it works. Instead of just being like, oh, well, I disagree with this person now, and that's unfortunate, but whatever. It's like now they hate him, or at least that's the narrative trying to be pushed here. Is he's public enemy number one because some people that like him also disagree with him.
I named it the title because there's not only is there that article, there was a New York Times article about this. This is becoming a thing. There's a push to go after Elon because he's got some idea, and they're now trying to actually tie him to the right wing. Part of the New York Times article that I read, Scribbles, it's like Ivanka Trump follows him.
It just what does this remind me of? It reminds me of like and I know I'm going to get shit for this, but when you see multiple news outlets suddenly all of a sudden going after this very niche story, it kind of reminds me of Gamergate. How like all on the same day, all these different outlets had the exact same story going about the exact same subject.
Mm-hmm.
And just targeted, and I'm not going conspiracy theory or something, but if you want to do like a concerted character assassination of an individual, you pick a day and then all these different news places do the same story.
Well, specifically what they were mad about in the Times article, and Prospero brought it up in chat here. The other day, let me see, where's that tweet at? On the 17th, Elon tweeted out, "Take the red pill." Oh no. And it's great reading the beginning of their article because it's all about how luxurious the Tesla is.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the hippies whining about this shit can't afford a Tesla. They're expensive cars. They're very expensive cars.
Well, what take the red pill means?
I do.
It means become a Republican.
No. According to this, according to this article, it means become a sexist, a racist, a homophobe, get unwoke. Apparently,
unwoke.
Unwoke. Unwoke is a thing.
Oh no, I believe it is a thing. Sure, why not?
It's stupid as fuck, but unwoke is a thing.
Yeah, toxic positivity. Yeah, sure, unwoke. Why not?
It just kind of, because when I saw that too, like I recently found out about red pilling and blue pilling. Like I heard the terms before, but I didn't know what they meant.
Mm-hmm.
When I learned what they meant, and then I started seeing how people were applying them, and I'm just like, I don't think they know what it means.
No,
like I just learned what it meant, but I don't think they know.
The metaphor is literally wake up, pay attention, see what's really going on around you. That's what it is. Because when you take the red pill, you get reality, and that's all it's ever meant.
Yeah, except that it's a conspiracy theory. Reality is actually a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's a very long article with a lot of stuff, but we get the gist. I'm going to move on to a different conspiracy theory.
Sure, but guys, remember, you're supposed to hate Elon now. We're here to inform you, and that's what you're supposed to hate Elon now.
I'm neutral on Elon. I'm still neutral on Elon. I actually don't really give much thought to Elon Musk, but apparently the media wants me to now. Like, oh, okay.
I think he's an interesting character. He's got some weird ideas. He's wickedly smart and has done some really amazing things. This man launched a fucking car into outer space just because he could.
Yeah, his intellectual reach also often exceeds his grasp. But hey, whatever. He's an eccentric billionaire. What else is new?
Right.
Let's see. So according to, at least according to the story that CNN is telling us, Trump will lose in a landslide because of the economy, new election model predicts.
Real quick, Mr. Scott, thank you so much. Who says, get unwoke, you fool. Thank you.
I want to know whose model this is so we can compare this to whatever happens in November.
Before you go on, who wrote this?
Well, the story is by Matt Egan at CNN Business.
Okay.
I don't know whose model it is, though. Excuse me. The economy has gone from President Donald Trump's greatest political asset to perhaps his biggest weakness. Yeah, it's his fault, by the way. It's his fault.
Wait.
He created COVID.
We just read a story a couple of days ago about how polls are... okay, I'm shut up and listen.
Monkey. No. This is the now.
That was on CNN.
That doesn't matter.
Oh, God, it's like 2 to 3 days ago.
Monkey, you pay attention to what they say now. You do not pay attention to anything that happened before.
Oh, God, it was their own poll.
No. Stop.
Okay. I'm going to sit over here and just wait to be disappointed.
Get unwoke. All right. Unemployment is spiking at an unprecedented rate. You don't
shit, Sherlock.
This is amazing. Consumer spending is vanishing and GDP is collapsing. History shows that dreadful economic trends like these spell doom for sitting presidents seeking re-election.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
The coronavirus recession will cause Trump to suffer a, quote, historic defeat in November, a national election model released Wednesday by Oxford Economics predicted. The model, which uses unemployment, disposable income, and inflation to forecast election results, predicts that Trump will lose in a landslide, capturing just 35% of the popular vote. That's a sharp reversal from the model's pre-crisis prediction that Trump would win about 55% of the vote, and it would be the worst performance for an incumbent in a century. Quote, it would take nothing short of an economic miracle for pocketbooks to favor Trump, Oxford Economics wrote in the report, adding that the economy will be a, quote, nearly insurmountable obstacle for Trump come November, unquote. I just want to say, first off, they might not be wrong in their prediction. It's not impossible. It's not impossible.
Before we get to that, let me get this over here on the Streamlabs. Thank you again, Cryptic. Women are the only creatures to defy the laws of gravity. The heavier they are, the easier they are to pick up.
Oh, I get it. That's not nice.
That's not nice at all. If all things were equal, Scribbles, I would agree with this assessment 100%.
Mm-hmm.
If this was just, oh shit, the economy collapsed, Trump would be out without a question. But that's if he's blamed for the economy.
Yeah.
Which the polls that CNN showed just the other day show he's not being blamed for.
One last paragraph. The model has correctly predicted the popular vote in every election since 1948, other than 1968 and 1976. Although two candidates lost the popular vote but won the presidency in that span, including George W. Bush in 2000 and Donald Trump in 2016. So this model has correctly predicted the popular vote in every election except for these two, and then these other examples where that didn't happen.
What'd they say from 48?
So they said so every election since 48, other than 68 and 76, and then in parentheses says, although two candidates lost the popular vote but won the presidency in that span, including George W. Bush and Donald Trump.
How many elections is that?
Since 48?
Yeah.
Oh Christ!
Somebody do the math for me here. And over on Streamlabs, thank you again, Mr. Scott, who says hashtag get unwoke, take the blue pill. Again, we've talked about that before. It's the economy, stupid. Bill Clinton's famous line, which is true. The economy tends to predict, especially with an incumbent, who's going to get elected. But this is a different situation. Mm-hmm. This is not even. Oh God! If he was blamed for the economy, yes. But when you have to, unemployment is unprecedented. Yes, because you shut down all the fucking businesses.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
The part that kills me though is they are banking on somebody sitting like a normal average American sitting on their couch and looking and watching a person say, "Hey, we need to keep everything closed indefinitely." And watching Trump say, "No, we need to open it to save the economy." And they believe that that person sitting there watching this conversation go on is going to be like, it's Trump's fault. Like,
they're telling us it's 18 elections. So out of 18 elections, they have a greater than 10% failure rate with their model.
Okay, I just want to read so there is more to the article. There is more to the article. I'm not going to read it all, but I'm just going to read the headings to the last two sections. The heading of the next section says, "Is it too early to predict the election?"
Yes.
And then the next section says, "The betting odds favor Trump."
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, anyway.
Betting odds is something that's become more and more of a way to gauge elections because it tends to be more right. Yeah. People have money on the line and they're not just out there trying to get people to read their shit. They're betting on what they think is going to win. And it's been a pretty decent depictor of who's going to win, especially as you get closer to the election. But yeah, we're too far out. We really are. We are too far out to say who's going to win this election. We can talk about it from time to time and what's going on at that time. Like right now, I think if we had the election, Trump would win.
Yeah.
A week from now, that could be different. But yeah.
Moving on. I don't know if this is the end of a long-running drama, but maybe it is. The Supreme Court blocks the release of Mueller grand jury documents to the House.
Yes.
Well, hold on. The Supreme Court on Wednesday temporarily blocked the release of former special counsel Robert Mueller's grand jury material to the Democratic-led House of Representatives. The House Judiciary Committee has been attempting to obtain the documents that the special counsel's prosecutors collected from witnesses about President Donald Trump, and the ruling continues the fight between the White House and Congress over subpoena power. The material at issue includes portions of Mueller's report that were redacted to protect grand jury information and underlying grand jury testimony and exhibits that related to certain individuals and events described in the report. The White House and Justice Department had asked the Supreme Court to block the release of the material to give them time to file a full appeal. In the brief, unsigned order, the justices set out a time period asking for briefs by June 1st. Such a timeline suggests they will decide before this term ends whether to take up the case. There were no noted dissents. A federal appeals court in March sided with the Judiciary Committee, saying that lawmakers had a, quote, compelling need, unquote, to view the secretive details. The Justice Department asked the Supreme Court to block the release of the materials, arguing it would suffer irreparable harm if it had to turn over the grand jury records before lawyers could file their appeal, since the documents will have already been released to Congress. So it's not the end. It's just
No.
another stay, basically.
But no, this is a big win in that they didn't just go, no, you have to turn that stuff over. We're going with what was said, which they could have done. And it's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's not something we do. And this is coming from Schiff is the one who wants this shit. The dirty little bastard who had to be forced to give up the secretive testimony that he took down in the fucking basement of the Capitol for an impeachment hearing. The little dirty bastard. The other one that's coming up soon is also the tax records. I can't wait for that one. So I have some stuff to look forward to from the Supreme Court. I'm very happy. Thank you, the Caps and Dogs. Finally back to work. Okay, finally back to work. Have some back to work money. Thank you very much. Go get some back to work ramen. It's really good.
And lastly, kind of related to what I did in YouTube time today, but also kind of a follow-up to yesterday, is an article by Brian Stelter, who, if I'm not mistaken, is still the host of Reliable Sources.
Yes.
All right. Well, Brian wants us to know about the Matt Lauer response to the rape allegation from Ronan Farrow's Catch and Kill. Now, I did something I don't usually do because it's a very short article. I read ahead a little bit. If I'm well, I'll just read it. You tell me if you notice anything about Stetler's style. Matt Lauer has been looking for an opportune time to publish a piece responding to Ronan Farrow's Catch and Kill, which contained a rape allegation that he denied. In the wake of Ben Smith's New York Times column scrutinizing Farrow's work, he went ahead. Mediaite published Lauer's 4,800-word column along with a comparison piece by John Ziegler titled, quote, The Inside Story of Matt Lauer's Investigation into Ronan Farrow's Reporting on Him, unquote. That's a ridiculous title. Lauer says, in effect, it's not really in effect, Brian, but anyway, that Farrow was biased against NBC, quote, knew his work on Catch and Kill would receive little in the way of scrutiny, and therefore published deeply flawed material. He says he re-reported the allegations against him and claims that there are huge holes in the story Farrow told. Mediaite vouches for some of Lauer's assertions. Quote, Mediaite editors independently fact-checked the accounts of the 4 witnesses/subjects Lauer spoke with and cites in this piece. All confirmed in early February that Lauer's account of their conversations was accurate, unquote. 2 of the 4 subjects were ex-boyfriends of Brooke Neville's, who lodged the 2017 complaint that led to Lauer's firing. In 2019, Neville's first interview was published, and she alleged that Lauer raped her in 2014. The incident, quote, derailed my life, unquote, she told Farrow. Lauer categorically denied Neville's rape accusation. Brian, are you also going to mention how NBC also confirmed that no allegation was ever made to them?
No, it's not.
Of course not. Lauer's new column reiterates his denials, but is primarily aimed at Farrow and what he claims is slipshod reporting and fact-checking process.
No.
Hold on. Almost done. It's very short, very short. Farrow tweeted in response Tuesday night, quote, all I'll say on this is that Matt Lauer is just wrong. Catch and Kill was thoroughly reported and fact-checked, including with Matt Lauer himself, unquote. And Neville's tweeted the acronym DARVO and spelled it, I'd never heard of this before, deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. DARVO is a, quote, perpetrator strategy, unquote, according to the professor who coined the term, Jennifer Freed. It's when the, quote, perpetrator adopts the victim role and accuses the true victim of being an offender, unquote. Farrow told me through a spokesperson, I'm going to read that again. Farrow told me through a spokesperson, quote, we called dozens of corroborators around the Lauer allegations described in the book and more than a dozen around Brooke Neville specifically, unquote. Now, I want to read that again. I know I'm reiterating myself, but listen to the words that this person has said. Quote, we called dozens of corroborators around the Lauer allegations described in the book and more than a dozen around Brooke Neville specifically, unquote. Well, you know what? I can call dozens of people too. Why didn't you quote them in the book? Calling them doesn't mean I talked to them. That's the end of the article. That is Brian Stelter's summary of what people told him.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it today. I was just waking up, and the little one was here, so I went to play with her. Sorry, Scribbles, but I did see you did your show with this today, right?
Yes, I did. I did a early preview of YouTube time. I did a reading of the entire article along with some commentary in between.
So, reading it.
Yes.
Do you think, at least with what Matt Lauer says, if what Matt Lauer says in there is true, Ronan did shoddy reporting, period.
Okay, so the things that you have to take into consideration is it's Matt Lauer's perspective.
Yeah, that's why I said if it's true.
Right. Okay. Well, like I say, a couple things. First, it's Matt Lauer telling the story. Two, Mediaite says that they rechecked all of Matt Lauer's claims in regards to the people he talked to and corroborated his corroborations. So, right. In that sense, the article, at least in a lot of places, holds a lot more weight to me because it was actually fact-checked after being fact-checked. So he quotes the specific passages in the book. Now, of course, he could have skipped over other passages. I haven't read the book. And then he goes over what was said in the book, and then he backs it up with the conversations he had with the people actually described in the book and how what the people in reality say is entirely different from what Ronan Farrow claims in the book after saying that he fact-checked everything. So if you take the Lauer summary of everything on its face and also add in that everything was rechecked by Mediaite, Ronan Farrow made shit up, quoted people having done or said things that they never did or said, and left out a whole bunch of information or used some very clever verbiage like the spokesperson did at the end here. If you actually read what they say, they're not saying, like in one instance, they said, we discovered 7 allegations of misconduct with people who worked with Lauer. Does that mean that does that mean the allegations were against Lauer? No. But people that worked with him had filed allegations of harassment or something at some point against somebody. So, so it's that sort of clever wordplay that sort of implies something but doesn't actually say it and lets you fill in the blanks.
Yeah, you're trying to smear a press person with the same smear tactics that they use. Come on, dude. He recognized it immediately. No, because I got really giddy reading that article. I really shouldn't have, but you have a person from the press who's getting, well, he was responding to a book rather than an article, but he's responding to charges against him made basically in the press. It's in a book that was widely publicized. And you see him making some of the same arguments that we make night after night after night over the kind of fucking wordplay they do, or according to sources. Like, yeah, which source? Yeah. And except he had the resources to actually go talk to that source. Because they name sources in there kind of in the book. Like, she told this person that she went to work for. So we went and looked up who it was he was working for at the time. Real quick. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Are you going bye-bye? Are you go bye-bye? Yeah. Can Grandpa have kisses? Here, give me that. Give me that. Give me kisses. Give me kisses. Mwah. I love you. Can I have hugs? Oh, the big hugs. I love her hugs. Can you say bye? You're not going to talk? Okay, here you go. I love you. Be a good girl. Mwah. She could barely walk upstairs. Oh, poor baby. She's so tired. Bye, guys. Love you. Love you. Drive safe. Also in the chat, the Captain Dog says, it's my lady's birthday today, Dirty 30. Thank you for the donation. And I thought I caught a name because I asked for the name. Where'd it go? Alexa. Oh, we're going to try to help you out, Caps and Dogs. We're going to.
Did you say what out loud?
Alexa.
We're gonna piss some people off with this birthday song.
Hey, I didn't name her.
No.
It's a pretty name though.
I know. I'm just never mind.
Okay, Alexa, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Alexa.
Happy birthday to you.
Alexa, how old are you?
Happy birthday, dear Alexa.
Alexa, play the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh my God, stop it.
Happy birthday to you. Alexa, I hope you had a great birthday. I forgot what we were talking about. Were we done with that?
Yeah, that was the entire article.
Okay. No, it was just kind of funny to watch this shit happen to a reporter who can point it out and go, yeah, look, this is how we normally do it. But like I said, reading that article, I think Matt Lauer is owed an apology if what he said is true. At least for the shoddy way the reporting was done. That leads us on to MSS News, guys. It is your time. If there's an article you think we should take a look at, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can't get to them all. That's because, Alexa, what's your favorite song?
Ooh.
Miss Slim One, thank you so much. This is why you mute your Alexa devices. And over on the Streamlabs, thank you, X43, who says, I'm supposed to find out tonight whether I get into the police academy. Been chasing this for nearly a decade, one way or another. Can I get a good luck? Best of luck, sir. I hope you get it. I really do. Just remember, be calm. I think police officers should be given Xanax.
Just by force?
No. At the end of a long shift, just to go. I can't imagine doing that job, man.
Yeah, no. After watching the real world police videos on YouTube and all those things, the body cams, and even though those are like very specific incidents and it's not like that every single day or whatever, yeah, just one of those things happening to me in my lifetime would be, I'm done.
I am too skittish for that shit. I would shoot myself in the foot every day.
Great.
Like, Monkey, that was just a door slamming. I didn't know what was going on. Over on our hashtag, this first one comes to us from Desert Tramp. Salmonella outbreak. Ooh. Salmonella outbreak linked to backyard birds leaves nearly 100 sick in 28 states. New pandemic?
Bird flu.
Probably not. An outbreak of salmonella linked to contact with backyard poultry like chicks and ducklings has left at least 97 people sick in 28 states, the Centers for Disease Control announced Wednesday. CDC says working with public health officials in the affected states to investigate the outbreak. Yeah, guys, birds are nasty. If you're touching them, make sure you are washing your hands before you get your hands anywhere near your face or anything. Don't wipe them on your clothing or anything. You touch them, and then when you're done, you go wash up like you're a fucking surgeon scrubbing. Birds are disgusting. Same thing with turtles, by the way. They carry salmonella. You got to be very careful. According to the CDC, 17 people have been hospitalized due to the outbreak, but no deaths have been reported. Well, that's good. Seems the outbreak is disproportionately affecting children because you're letting them play with little birds like they're in a third world country. Get them a ball, for fuck's sake. It seems the outbreak is... Oh, no, the guy did that. Officials say about a third of the ill people are kids under the age of 5. Damn.
Yuck.
Yeah, if you're messing with live birds and shit, make sure you're being very careful because they can get you sick. The next one comes to us from Ramen Lewis. Oh, wait, he sent a couple. What's this one? I think I like this one better. It will be an entirely new thing. Zack Snyder's $20 million plus Justice League cut plans revealed.
I was curious. I don't know who's footing the bill for recutting or whatever the hell they're doing to this movie, because that's the budget of. You can make several movies for the $20 million they're spending to recut this one movie. It's so bizarre to me.
HBO Max, will debut the project in 2021, possibly in a 4-hour director's cut. Holy shit.
Good God, why?
Or in 6 TV-style chapters as the Helmer gets the gang back together with an original post-production crew to score, cut, and finish visual effects. It was very early on Monday morning in November when director Zack Snyder and his wife and producing partner... Aren't all wives producing partners?
Not if she's barren.
Shouldn't that be production partner?
Uh.
Well, I guess she's not. She produces I don't know. Anyway, Deborah Snyder received a call from their agent. Let's be a bit more precise. It was 7 a.m., but more importantly, it was the day after the second anniversary of the release of Justice League, the DC superhero movie that Snyder was forced to exit due to a family emergency, which was then substantially reshot and retooled by replacement director Joss Whedon.
Mm-hmm.
In the time since its release, something unusual happened. A growing movement of fans, rallied by the hashtag Release the Snyder Cut, had called, agitated, petitioned, and even bought a Times Square billboard and chartered a plane to fly a banner over Comic-Con for Snyder's version to be released.
Damn.
And on the film's second anniversary, the hashtag had its biggest day ever, with even the movie stars Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
I think it's actually.
That says Gadot. That's what I'm just like.
Yeah.
Speak English. And Ben Affleck adding their voices on Twitter. So here, the morning after, was their agent saying that Toby Emmerich, chairman of Warner Brothers Pictures, was acknowledging the movement and, more importantly, was willing to accede. This is real. People out there want it. Would you guys ever consider doing something, was what Emmerich was asking Zack. To answer Emmerich's question, a whispered about secret for months was revealed Wednesday when Zack Snyder confirmed at the end of the online screening of the 2013 movie Man of Steel that his version of Justice League was indeed real and that it will be coming to HBO Max, launching May 27th and is expected to debut in 2021. So there you go.
Well, I will say at least, I mean, I'm not a DC guy, and I don't quite understand what is going to be coming out of this that is going to be so much better. But I have no problem with the studios listening to the fans and giving them what they want if there's a loud enough claim for it. So congratulations to them.
I've owned Justice League since it came out on DVD. I've still never watched it.
I can't wait to see the articles.
Well, I'm curious if this movie comes out and it's any way substantially different from the Whedon cut.
Yeah.
Which one is canon in the DC movie universe?
Well, that's assuming that the DC movie universe is going to continue considering Justice League a part of it officially anyway.
How do you mean?
There's been a lot of sort of soft reboot maneuvers about sort of ignoring Justice League and just kind of doing spin-offs that involve characters that may be related to the movie but otherwise don't quite exactly attach to it, sort of like how Suicide Squad doesn't attach to Batman and that kind of stuff. So I don't know, maybe not. And as far as what's canon, probably the one that released to theaters, because this is effectively becomes a fan cut, a director's cut, special project kind of deal. And it'll be substantially, if it's going to be 4 hours long, it's going to be substantially different.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I mean, it could just be longer and still have the same basic conclusion.
I just hope they make the bad guy CGI better, because Steppenwolf in that movie looked absolutely ass.
Terry, are you trying to upset Scribe? Thank you. Terry, who says canon is all just made up anyway.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who don't get that joke, you should watch the show more often.
Have you ever seen a canon in real life? I haven't.
Yeah, they're made up.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually seen a real canon.
Shut up.
I lived in Virginia. They made us go on trips to Colonial Williamsburg, and they still have cannons there.
Your statement negates my narrative, therefore I reject it.
You know, that's fair.
All right.
Is it?
He just got unwoke.
Oh, yeah, you go. Hey, Red Pill.
Married babysitter. This one comes to us from Massive Dynamic. Married babysitter who had a baby with a boy, 13, is jailed for 30 months.
30 months. Okay.
This is over in the UK. I'm assuming it's from the Mirror. Nursery worker Lee Cordes, now 20, had been out drinking for an evening before going into the victim's room, reading Crown Court heard. A married babysitter.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck, she was married too.
Wait, she was married at what age?
Right.
She's 20 now.
I don't know when this happened.
Okay. All right.
A married babysitter who had a baby with a 13-year-old schoolboy showed a total lack of remorse, a judge said. Nursery worker. They keep calling her nursery worker, and that's really fucking with me. Had been out drinking for an evening when she got into the boy's victim, or gone into the boy victim's room. Fuck, you don't have to say boy in that. Into the victim's room where he was playing on his Xbox. There, she seduced him by pulling down his trousers. The now 20-year-old who had been studying childcare.
Yeah, she was.
I feel like she passed her final exam.
Oh.
Or failed it miserably, whichever works for the joke.
It failed miserably works better.
Yes.
Thanks. Had been studying childcare while working at a local nursery, had denied the sexual activity, claiming instead that she'd been raped by the young boy. Oh, fuck you.
Whatever.
Cordes was convicted by a jury of having sexual activity with a child on at least 5 occasions.
Wow.
30 months for 5 counts of rape. Good job, guys. Good job.
A 13-year-old boy.
Yeah.
She was raped 5 times by this kid, and she kept going back to babysit him. Is Avenatti her lawyer, for fuck's sake?
And can you imagine if it had been a 13-year-old girl and a 19, 20-year-old guy? Yeah.
Judge Peter Clark, QC, said Cordes asserted that the truth was that she had been raped by the victim on multiple occasions. It has understandably been urged on the court that psychiatric examination has found Cordes to be a borderline intellect ability with an IQ of 70 to 85. I had and have difficulty with that assessment. Cordes gave evidence. She was clear in chief, and she was combative and agile in cross-examination. At one state, I had no alternative but to warn her that she was doing herself a disservice in her interactions with prosecution counsel. Suffice it to say, she showed no remorse for the events. Indeed, I heard no indication from either Cordes or the victim that she held him in any particular affection. The evidence from at least one witness was of physical obsession and self-indulgence as opposed to emotional attachment. So she was just horny.
Oi, the little fucker raped me, mate.
Wow.
It was
Now say 5 times.
No.
She got raped by him. That means at least 4 times she's like, well, I guess this money is worth the rape.
I guess.
How much were they paying her?
He was like, look, give me them cheeks or you can't play Xbox with me.
Do these women think about this when they throw out that charge of rape when it's like the Julie Swetnick thing? I mean, she went to 10 rape parties. Like, that's really the evidence you want to go with?
She attended something called a rape party. And what was me? Jesus Christ.
James Colley, thank you, says, it's only rape the first time, Stockholm Syndrome after that. Okay, I suppose so.
All right.
She just really likes Call of Duty, you guys.
Oh yeah, she's heard her Call of Duty.
Yeah,
5 times.
Fucking Fortnite.
Fortnite
got her hooked, yo.
Oh man,
Jesus Christ.
NSA uncovers. This one comes to us from Massive Dynamic, I think. No, this is Mercy of Wit. Sorry, NSA. Fuck this whole story up already. Whole different group. NASA uncovers evidence of bizarre parallel universe where physics, time operate in reverse.
Oh my God.
Is it like now, 2020, and this fucking political climate that we live in right now?
Well, I'm guessing that in their world, in about 6 months, coronavirus is going away.
Yeah, okay.
Scientists at NASA have reportedly uncovered evidence of a bizarre parallel universe where the rules of physics and time appear to be operating in reverse. Thank you, James Colley. Who says gamers never get laid? Oh.
Just real quick question. What's the source of this parallel universe article?
This is coming. It's actually been from several places, but this one, because several people sent it to us, and guys, this is just the first one that I saw in the timeline. So I'm not saying none of you didn't send it to us earlier, but this is from Boston News 7.
Okay.
Researchers conducting an experiment in Antarctica discovered particles from a universe that was born during the same Big Bang that created the one we live in, according to New Scientist. That is all one word, New Scientist. So I don't know, is that a blog or something? I have no idea. A NASA team was using a giant balloon to carry electronic antennas into the sky above the frozen wastes of Antarctica when they encountered a wind is in quotations for some reason, of particles from outer space that were, quote, 1,000,000 times more powerful than anything they'd seen before, the news outlet reported. Low energy particles have the ability to pass through the Earth without any interaction, but higher energy particles are stopped by the solid matter of Earth, the report stated. High energy particles are only detected if they are coming down from Earth, but NASA's Antarctic Impulsive Transient Antenna detected the particles traveling up. Ooh. The findings suggest that the particles were traveling backwards in time from a parallel universe. The experiment's lead investigator, Peter Gorham, said in an interview with the University of Hawaii's News. He was smoking a fat doobie at the time he was saying this. This doesn't prove a parallel universe.
No, but it's a really cool story.
It is, but these are scientists, for fuck's sake.
Oh.
This is the kind of shit you're supposed to let us weirdos on the internet say.
Have you ever watched a TEDx talk before, Monkey, with a scientist?
Like I said, weirdos on the internet.
Yeah, anybody can call himself
NASA.
a scientist. They'll give out PhDs like Cracker Jack prizes these days.
Jesus Christ. Otherwise, the articles would have had to change form before passing through Earth and back again, something that Gorham described as an impossible event.
Mm-hmm.
Gorham explained that the Big Bang, which happened nearly 14 billion years ago, likely resulted in the formation of two universes, the one that people of Earth live in and another where everything operates in reverse.
The nigga zone. Oh, the mirror universe. It's real.
Wouldn't that mean nobody would be able to stay on Earth? They'd all be floating right off?
Well, see, if it operates backwards in time,
Mm-hmm.
then the Big Bang was the end of the other universe, and now it's going towards its beginning again, while we're going towards our end, and then it'll come back around again and start all over. See what I mean?
Pincalo, thank you. I don't know how to say that word. That looks Japanese. What is that word, Satsu?
What are we looking at?
Kaijus?
Kaijus, yeah.
Yeah, kaiju. That's like Godzilla.
Oh, thank you. Pincalo says, do you want kaijus? This is how we get kaijus. And Bonbon, thank you. NASA, anyone who believes anything from NASA needs to grow up. Motherfucker, Velcro works.
Yep, that's true.
Velcro and Tang are real. Hashtag fight the patriarchy. This one comes to us from Sean Uli by way of the Atlantic. Oh, God. Thousands of Americans have become socialists since March.
The
Democratic Socialists of America have an estimated 10,000 new members, growth that organizers attribute in part to the coronavirus.
Coronavirus made them into socialists. That's an interesting symptom. No, I hadn't heard of that.
I understand.
Oh.
Because we saw, what did we see right away? This wouldn't be so bad if we had universal health care.
Right.
We were told that. I felt like I was doing something productive out of this whole nightmare. A 32-year-old harms. The 32-year-old harms. Oh, did I miss something? Oh, I missed a whole fucking paragraph. I'm sorry. And Terry Diamandis, thank you. You know who else needs to grow up? Midgets. Oh.
No.
Speaking of which, Left Cheek has an OnlyFans, you guys.
Are you going to subscribe?
No, I thought about it, but like,
why not?
Because I don't want to be that creepy guy.
I mean, she only charges half price.
Hi-oh! Abby Harms was laid off from her job at a Denver board game store the same day that the city went into lockdown. What a coincidence. Pincalo, thank you. So it's now the commie virus? Yes. It's been the commie virus. Remember, it came from China. Within days of filling out a petition for laid off service workers, Harms, who identifies as non-binary, got an unexpected call from the local chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America. Did they need food or help getting groceries, assistance filing for unemployment? Did Harms want to participate in a rent canceling campaign? To the last proposal, Harms eagerly agreed, and soon they were a dues-paying member of the DSA. I felt like I was doing something productive out of the whole nightmare. I had purpose and something to fight for. Something to fight for, not paying her rent.
Yay!
That's what motivated the bitch. I'm sorry. What's the swear for non-binaries? Is there?
I have no idea.
I mean, you can call a guy a cocksucker, an asshole, a woman a bitch, or a whore. What do you call a non-binary? An ass whore.
Whoa!
Devil Fruit Zero, thank you. People haven't gotten things from social programs, and they want more social practices. Window lickers, everyone. Well, they think they've gotten things from social programs, so that's all you have to do is convince them. In Chicago, Mike, Abby Harms, not Abby Normal. Oh, she's Abby Normal. Membership in DSA chapters around the country has surged in the past 8 weeks. An estimated 10,000 people have joined since March, bringing the group's total membership to roughly 66,000, according to internal figures. Enrollment fluctuates month to month, but the DSA hasn't seen numbers like this since the election of Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in 2018, a spokesman said. Sorry, spokesperson. I better get that right.
Yeah, get that right, monkey.
Corey, thank you. You say you don't exist. So the slur is fake. You fake. Leaders of the DSA attribute some of this recent growth to Senator Bernie Sanders suspending his presidential campaign in April, which sent his supporters seeking another outlet for their organizing energies. But current economic and public health conditions have sparked anger nationwide, and the present movement seems especially ripe for socialist outrage. Yeah, because socialist outrage is all about haves and have-nots. It's class warfare. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of morons joining up with the socialists. Yay.
Makes perfect sense.
And in some ways it does, but only if you're a moron like they are. Oh, God. Let's see. This one comes to us from our senior corner correspondent, Frosted Glass. Oklahoma passed the country's first anti-red flag gun laws.
Okay.
The law stops police from being able to temporarily take people's guns away if they're considered a danger to themselves or others. What? Atheist Icon, thank you. Do they want mass murder? This is how you get mass murder. Shh, don't. 25 million dead under Stalin. That was an accident. I mean, that was just famine. It wasn't their fault. Oklahoma just became the first state to pass an anti-red flag bill, bucking the national trend that gives police emergency powers to temporarily confiscate firearms from people who might hurt themselves or others. On Tuesday, Governor Kevin Stitt signed Senate Bill 1081, which prohibits counties or cities in Oklahoma from passing local red flag ordinances. The legislation sailed through the Senate Judiciary Committee on Friday with an 8-2 vote. It was the last piece of legislation that lawmakers voted on before adjourning. Critics of the bill said that the GOP legislatures are catering to gun extremists at a time when the risk of gun violence, like domestic violence or gun suicide, is especially high due to the national anxiety around the pandemic. Quote, but rather than take steps to meet these risks, lawmakers quietly passed a policy intended to score points with extremists opposed to life-saving extreme risk laws. Kay Milan, a volunteer with the Oklahoma chapter of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, told the Oklahoman, man, they've changed that name. It used to just be Moms Demand Action. They've added a whole bunch of shit to it. Thank you, Boban. Missing Jordan Peterson, wishing him a speedy recovery. Yeah, I haven't heard. Last I heard, he was supposed to be coming back to the world, and he never really did. But yeah, so they've made it so that counties can't do it. Okie
dokie.
And let's see. All right, then we're going to finish up with this one from Froggy. Florida woman tries to kiss strangers, calls 911 about social distancing.
Jeez.
A Florida woman was arrested after she tried to kiss strangers at a bar and refused to leave. Police said that Audra Adams, 32, was asked to leave Monkey Bar and Grill in Indialantic after several customers complained that she was attempting to make out with them. I'm going to throw this picture into chat and y'all will be like, oh, yeah, I'd have called the police too. Adams refused to leave and began to argue with the staff. They eventually got her outside, but she remained in the parking lot and called 911. She told the dispatcher that the bar was violating social distancing guidelines issued by the state as part of its reopening plan. She called 911 5 times, including once after officers had arrived and once while she was speaking to them. The officers told Adams she had to leave, but she refused, so they took her into custody. She attempted to pull away from the officers after she was handcuffed, but they managed to get her into a squad car. She is facing charges of trespassing after warning, disorderly conduct, resisting an officer without violence, and misuse of the 911 system. Well, good job, drunkie.
Is it bad that I already knew what her face looked like before I went to it?
I know, right? She called 911 while she was talking to the police. Just plead guilty, say you were drunk and apologize, pay whatever fine it is, sweetheart. You'll be fine.
That's some diligence right there. She called the cops while talking to the cops.
Oh, God. All right. That's going to wrap up MSS News. Guys, thanks for all the submissions, and sorry we can't get to them all. We really do love that you send so many. It's a wonderful problem to have, but we just can't get to everything. On that note, we're going to move on to YouTube time. And Satsu, what'd you do?
Well, what I wanted to do today was upload a cooking video, and I planned on doing some voice work today to do that. But my daughter said, no, that's not a thing that you're going to do today. So I didn't, because she wasn't having that shit. She was particularly annoyed today, and I'm not sure why. But in every case, eating was the thing that calmed her down, because I couldn't literally look at anything that even resembled food without her being like, hey, I'm going to eat all of that, please. So she's growing really fast, and the little baby food and stuff that we give her is not enough. She wants some people foods. So I don't know. She's been a little irritable. So I just did some more editing of other videos that are going to be later down the line, just doing like a lot of back end stuff that doesn't need any voice work, or doesn't require that I do voice work. And that was kind of it as far as YouTube stuff is concerned.
All right. Scribbles, what'd you did?
Well, I mentioned a bit earlier, I did a reading of the Matt Lauer piece about Ronan Farrow's book, and did some commentary along the way. And I've got a couple of TEDx's queued up that I will unleash sometime in the next couple of days. And that's it.
I did a monkey in the morning and then an after party right after, and we'll get to why I did the after party right after, because some stupidness going on out there in the YouTube world, well, in the Twitter world, which leads us to humpetry time, guys. And Satsu,
Yep,
you got humpetry.
Mm-hmm.
I like how you said that, man.
Oh boy! So the saga continues, ladies and gentlemen. More talking about the CDC and the what is it, head of the Department of National Health or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And their statements on Corona and how it's being counted. I'm talking to some people about it, and they had more to say in regards to the situation. Now, obviously, you guys know, based on previous conversations we've had, or me telling you guys, keep you up to date, these people seem to think that there's no problem. They seem to think that the flu is counted the exact same way, so it's not really an issue. And there's no problem presenting numbers as definitive fact, knowing that they're not correct. That's not an issue, or at least that's what these people seem to think. And the male that I was talking to in this group is still demanding that I provide him with the actual numbers. Now, the argument that I was making is they're giving numbers that aren't necessarily accurate, and they're telling you so. Like they are willingly telling you, like, hey, these numbers that we're putting out are not exact. They're not the actual numbers. Some of these deaths have not been due to COVID. Like, we know that for 100% fact. We're just letting you know that this is how we're counting them. And they're like, no, that's not what they meant. They're telling me that that's not what they meant. They're telling me that what they meant was if you die based on complications due to COVID, then they're still counting them, even though they explicitly said otherwise. And at that point, like, I don't know what else you need to say to somebody to convince them that they're an idiot. Because this was the person's response, and I read this to Monkey and Scribe. She said, I watched the clip and did not glean that from this 10-second clip. I'm not even really arguing that I believe the data isn't accurate in all states or all places, but it's commonplace. That was her argument. After arguing with me that the data is accurate because it's the numbers that they're giving, and if it's not accurate, I should give them the real numbers, she says, I'm not arguing that the data isn't inaccurate, but it's normal, so who cares? And like, what do you do? What do you say to a person? Like, you just walk away at that point. I don't know. I'm gonna do a video about this because I really need to vent about and not this specifically, but just generally how for some reason Americans have become so accustomed to being lied to that they find justification for it. And they're just like, yeah, but it's normal. It's normal for them to tell us things that aren't true. So, like, what's the problem? Like, but that is the problem. They don't see it, and they keep moving the goalposts to make it seem like what I'm addressing is something else because they're just refuse to address the point that I'm trying to make. So, we'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna put out a video because it's just something that I need to vent about. But yeah, people are stupid, man, and I indulge it daily because I am apparently stupid. So that's my fucketry.
Alrighty, and Scribbles, you got anything?
I don't think I have much. It wasn't a very busy day for me on there. Let's see, did that. Actually, no, everything's from yesterday, and I just retweeted a bunch of stuff. So aside from tweeting back to Brian Stelter, we called dozens of corroborators around the Lauer and saying, did you bother to get the names of those corroborators and verify? Why didn't you point out that called dozens does not mean the same thing as interviewed dozens? Did the dozens actually pick up the call?
You know what's interesting to me about that when you said it earlier? He doesn't say that he called the people directly involved. I called dozens around.
Yeah.
Matt Lauer called the actual people.
Yep.
Of those two, I'm more likely to go with the one who called the actual people.
He's like, I called and talked to the secretary. I talked to the janitor. I talked to
yeah.
I called the bus driver, the bus she takes on the way to work every morning.
Several co-workers of Matt Lauer said blah, 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 blah.
And in that piece, that one part, where they point out there were 7 accusations around Lauer at the time.
Yep.
What was the quote exactly?
It was like of people who worked with Lauer. There was something to that effect. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you just read it offhand, your immediate thought is going to be, oh, he was accused 7 times.
Yep.
Which isn't what. And again, it's one of those fucking weaselly things the press does, where like they don't say he was accused. They just let you think that without pointing out specifically other people that worked with Lauer had been accused of sexual harassment as well, even though that doesn't pertain to Lauer at all in any fucking way.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of what I see in not just TEDx talks, but just talks in general. It's the God of the Gaps theory of statistical analysis. Like, here is a statistical disparity between demographic A and demographic B. This is a problem, i.e., the reason is, insert your ism, racism, sexism, etc. Not offering any proof of that, but just saying this is a problem that we have to address. and just letting the audience fill in the blank of what the excuse is without actually having to prove it. It's that kind of thing.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Is that all you had?
Yep, that was it. I didn't do much today, actually.
Neither did I, which is means I got to stretch here.
Yep.
Well,
The reason I did an after party almost immediately after closing down Monkey in the Morning this morning is I went over to Twitter. Like I always do before I go to bed, I usually have one last candle. I don't smoke YouTube. It's a candle that you hear me lighting all the time. And I read Twitter while I finish my candle. And then I go to bed. Well, I saw something that annoyed me so much, like, I got to go bitch about this right now. There's a young woman who has a TikTok, and I forget her name. Don't remember. But she's blown up in the last few days because she has this, what was described as cute accent, and then I heard it and like, that's
was that
just me.
The Bronx girl or whatever?
Jersey, actually.
Jersey, that's what it was.
She's a Jersey girl, and she sounds like, I'm sorry, that accent makes Southerners sound smart.
Hey, now.
You know, Jeff Foxworthy's joke, if you went to a brain surgeon, he sounded like me, you would leave. Because the Southern accent doesn't sound the brightest. But anyway, the Jersey one's worse. Sorry, Jerseyans, things. But this girl, she blows up a little bit because she's got this accent and people are going nuts over it. Until this one Karen bitch jumps on to Twitter and goes, This bitch follows white supremacist Blair White, so I don't know why y'all are standing for her so hard.
Follows what, Blair White?
White supremacist.
Blair White is a white supremacist.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so they began canceling this young woman because she follows Blair White.
Uh-huh.
And it was a typical stupid cancellation bullshit you've seen many, many times. Guilt by association and all that. But I don't know why this one annoyed me as much as it did. It's not the first time we've seen this shit. But this girl, she doesn't even talk politics. And then they came up with a word I'd never heard before.
Okay.
So this girl, she has this video where she makes the joke that she's dressed like a hooker, and that she was going to go down to the corner and get some black tar heroin from her daddy. And for this, they have labeled her whorephobic.
What?
Whorephobic. Yeah. Whorephobic.
Okay.
I have still not wrapped my mind around what the fuck that actually means.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, is she like Jack the Ripper whorephobic?
I don't think she's quite that bad.
Oh, okay. Because when I think of whorephobic, I think of like the extreme.
Well, this girl, she came out and apologized for all this. By the way, Blair White has shut down her social media because she doesn't want her young fans to be getting attacked like this girl was. There was a lot of people who suspected that Blair had gotten shut down. No, apparently she did it herself. At least that's the word I've gotten. I haven't spoke to her directly myself. She doesn't take my calls. But so she shut it down. But the girl who was attacked, I want to read her tweets. This was her response to being attacked. Vol Potato, thank you. For all of those who don't know, Blair's last name is White, so she's a white supremacist or something. That's the only reason I can think of. Thank you for the donation. Yeah, I couldn't figure out the Blair white supremacist thing either. I know there's people who call her transphobic because she believes in biological sex, but yeah, I hadn't heard the specific allegations of white supremacy yet. So I don't know where to go from that. But anyway, this is what she said. The little Jersey girl. Apparently, I'm a white supremacist now. I followed Blair White, but I do not agree with her politics. I like hearing all sides of politics, even the ones I don't agree with. Racism is not and never has been okay. Sorry for any confusion. Next tweet. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I accept and acknowledge my privilege to be able to say that.
Oh, no.
The last thing I would ever want is for people to think I would want to support or enable any type of bigotry. Thank you for hearing me out and, more importantly, informing me.
Oh, no.
But she goes on.
Oh.
Hey, this is not an invitation to attack anyone. They had valid concerns, and I don't blame them for calling me out. I thank them for informing me, and I'm asking you all not to send hate their way. This is to people trying to cancel you, bitch. But we're not done yet. She goes on to say, one last note, just as I showed my support for the trans community previously, that same sentiment stands for any type of discrimination. Racism, homophobia, transphobia, sexism, etc. of any kind is not welcome here. And finally, I've also expressed my support for sex workers and that they should be respected. Not sure where this whorephobic thing is coming from. You know, that last line there is why you don't apologize to these people. I've expressed my support. I don't know where this whorephobic thing's coming from. It doesn't matter. You got marked. Somebody realized you follow Blair White. You're gaining popularity. It's enough to take you down right there. Whatever else you ever say or do does not matter. You could speak 2 hours a night into a microphone about politics, and people will tell you what you think, even though it's absolutely against what you actually say. Trust me, I know. I was disgusted by what they tried to do to this girl. And then I read that fucking ridiculous apology, and now I'm disgusted by her too. So I guess they all deserve each other. Because when you make that kind of thing, I realize I had, where was it? I accept and acknowledge my privilege to be able to say that.
Yeah.
Just say racism isn't okay. You have a privilege and a privilege to be able to say racism. Is there anybody who's not allowed to say it? Yeah. Not even the crickets spoke up, guys.
Yeah, like what? I don't even know what to say to it. It's just like, but I mean, how old is this girl again?
I don't know. I would guess late teens, like 19 or so.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand someone that young who hasn't quite been through this routine enough times might, reciprocate or capitulate to the whole thing. I don't agree with it, but I mean, it's an impressionable kid who's probably under a ridiculous amount of stress that she doesn't deserve, and B, doesn't know how to handle. So, yeah.
She's apologizing for following Blair White.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with her apologizing, but I can understand her motivation, if you get me.
No, I understand the motivation of self-preservation.
Yeah.
And if I thought that's what it was, I'd be like, all right, I understand it. She's finally building something. She's finally taking off. This is what she's obviously been looking for. And she's got to try to tramp this down before it's, stalls her out. Fine. But she was just a little too on point with the wording.
Okay.
And her wording makes me think she's probably been part of cancel culture before.
Or do you think maybe she was coached by somebody into what to say?
Perhaps. Because I didn't see the time frame between when it happened and when she came out and made her statements.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Pat. Pat says for following Blair, shoe on head and armored skeptic. I have not seen any evidence that shoe on head and armored skeptic were included in this.
She said it directly when she was when she initially put a post out on it. She said that the girl was being canceled for following the three of them. That was the first post I seen about it. So I don't know.
That's what shoe on head said.
Right. That's what
shoe on head said. The original tweet that started all this doesn't mention Shoe at all. Doesn't mention Greg at all. Maybe it's mentioned in some of the other comments down there where people are like, oh, they also follow these two. The original comment was about Blair White, so that's the one that I'm sticking to. Just because, anyhow. I get it. If you're trying to maintain your career, this is what you have to say these days. But we shouldn't have to say this shit. Yeah. You shouldn't have to. Somebody could come to me and go, but you follow Brian Stelter. I follow Brian Stelter. I follow Chris Cuomo. I follow Bernie Sanders. Doesn't mean I support any of them. None of them.
Yes, it does. Following them means you support them. You're adding to their numbers, monkey.
Apparently, yes. I'm giving them a platform. Is that what I'm doing?
That's right. Yeah, you're rebroadcasting their voices. Giving them power, monkey.
On the other side of the coin, Count Dankula had a debate with Vosh today.
Jesus. Why?
The subject of the debate was whether or not Count Dankula is a racist.
All right.
Now, I bring this up because of where this little girl's at right now. Count Dankula got absolutely destroyed to the point of going to jail and ending up having to pay a fine because he made a joke on the internet and people found it and went after him. This was years ago, and it's still coming up to the point of having a fucking debate about it, sweetheart. You are marked forever and ever. You should have stopped at, I follow Blair White because I don't agree with her politics, but I do listen to other voices. There you go. That's the end of it right there. All that other apology you did does not mean shit at all. Because for the rest of your internet existence, you won't even have to upset them. Just somebody will be like, I don't like her. And aren't you that bitch that followed Blair White? Look at the video on Keemstar yesterday. This is all old shit.
I've actually seen that shit, man. One particular person was in trouble for saying some shit or whatever, and then some time later, they're just like, "Hey, I learned from that stuff, and I've grown, and my experiences have changed me." And they're like, "Oh, hey guys, I used to be a racist, so it's cool now. I'm not anymore, so I guess it's fine now." It's like, it's over for you.
Dankula is a shitlord, and he doesn't help himself by quoting the 14. Is it 14 words? Did you guys see this at the end of his? I didn't watch the debate. I just saw a clip that he put out onto Twitter.
No.
He finished the debate by quoting the 14 words.
Oh, God.
Because, I think it'd just be appropriate to finish the debate this way. So at the end of it, it was Hunter Avalon, I believe, is the one who was moderating the debate. And Dankula's just like, there's just one last thing I want to say. And then he quotes the 14 words. Like, for fuck's sake, dude. But did you forget to mention you were on Irate Alex's stream? I did forget to mention that, nuts. Yeah, after the after party this morning, I went over and I was with Irate Alex talking with him about what's going on in his world. And we talked about the Keemstar thing. And we talked, I forget what else is going on. I was really tired by the time I went to do that. Can't remember. I remembered we talked about Keem. Speaking of the Keem stuff, Keem did release the first part of his response to Ethan Klein today, which basically called him a dickhead for suggesting that he had anything to do with Etika's death, where he points out things like Etika's mom sent a personal message to Keemstar after Etika died, thanking him for being a good friend to his son. Something Ethan conveniently left out of his video, and has been around since this all blew up, because it's when Keem's like, look, even his mom isn't saying this shit. Go fuck yourselves. Hunter's a sissy. I don't know what's with Hunter. Hunter's too much of a coward to moderate that debate. As long as you're willing to hit the mute button on either one of them when they're talking and when it's not their turn, anybody could moderate that debate. Those two were expressive enough, Dankula and Vosh, that you can just let them go. Unless you're having a formal Oxford type debate. I mean, you're having an internet debate. Yeah, as long as you're just willing to shut one of them up so the other one can speak, then yeah, that's all the balls you need. So, cancel culture is still real, y'all. I thought it didn't exist anymore. Weren't we told that, Satsu?
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, it doesn't exist.
We were told that it does not exist. It is a right-wing conspiracy.
Anthony Vogel says H3H3 and Keem deserve each other. Look, I want to be clear here. Keemstar's an asshole. He's a complete douche nugget to people he does not like, and he has a history of saying shit that even I'm like, damn.
He's a complete dick to people he does like. So
that's true too. I'm not defending Keemstar here, other than to say that Ethan was incredibly unfair to him with the etiquette stuff. Ethan is also a pussy for not just admitting he was going after G Fuel, which apparently did cancel its sponsorship with Keem for a while, or it did or didn't. I can't remember. And then they were going after another one of Keem's sponsors. And Ethan's like, I wasn't going after his sponsor. Yeah, you were, dick. Stop it. At least have the balls to own up to your. I've run into this a couple times in the last few days. People unwilling to own up to their own behavior, blaming it on other people. You knew what you were doing. Stop it. You repeatedly in that video were like, this is what you support, G Fuel? Come on. You know what you're doing, dickhead. I would gladly moderate any debates. I'll gladly bitch slap both participants if they can't keep their dicks in their face. I can't wait to watch this. And it's going to be hard for me because I have trouble understanding Dankula sometimes. I really do. I'm not making that as a joke. Sometimes his accent is so thick I can't tell what he says, and I have to rewind it to listen again. But if he got Vosh mad at all, it'll be worth it. I love watching that man bun little, I can't say that F word, lose his shit because it's funny. Thank you, Kingslayer Damocles. All I have to say about Keem is that he was a Daddy 05 supporter. He was, and if Keem did something that he does, this blows up, so he gets that person on his show and he listens to what they have to say and he takes their side until the rest of the story comes out. One of the things that Ethan went after Keem for, though, was having the guy who doxed the shooting that was in Kansas City. Is that where it was? The swatting that got the wrong person killed?
Yes.
The day after that happened, that shooting happened, Keem had the guy who did the doxing on his show. And Ethan presented this as like a bad thing. I don't have a problem with it. And this is one of the few times I can look and say, actually, that was newsworthy at the time. That was actually news. He was interviewing the person involved. And I don't know if it came up during the court case, but he basically admitted what he did on the show. So in that regard, Keem probably helped get this motherfucker put in prison. And it's not like Keem was nice to the guy or, like, I'm on your side. You did a good thing. No big deal getting that guy killed. He's like, don't you feel any responsibility for this? And the guy, no, it wasn't my fault. It was everybody else's fault. Look at that. Never my fault. Never my fault when something bad happens. Over on the Streamlabs, thank you so very much. Sanguine, who says, is a nuglet a midget nugget? That would have to be at like 50% head by volume. Where did nuglet come from?
I have no idea.
I appreciate the donation, but you just confused me just a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we're going to move on, unless you guys have something else to say about this kind of shit.
Yep.
I love my internet drama. I keep watching it. There's still stuff going on with the whole Ralph and Dick Masterson thing. If you guys are into any of that, I highly recommend checking it out because there's been a lot of stuff going on over there lately. But otherwise, yeah. So your time, questions, comments, concerns, throw them in the chat now, and we will do our very best to answer or respond. If it's a question for us, guys, remember lots of chat marks. Those are question marks, folks. So we know it's for us. If you're talking to each other, just one question mark, please, not multiple. It confuses me. I'm not a smart man. Same with statements. If you have a statement for us, lots of statement marks, exclamation points. So we know that it's directed to us. Anyway, Scribbles, you got anything going on tomorrow?
I may be doing a TEDx. It all depends on work and other circumstances, so I will notify as I can.
No game stream tonight. Are we still tentatively thinking about going tomorrow?
That's the idea. I'd like to go tomorrow if we can.
All right. Nugget equals midget. Nugget equals midget with no arms or legs. I know what a nugget is. I just didn't know where the I didn't know where the conversation came from, is what I was saying about potato. Kingslayer says he defended him on Tonka's show. That's why he and Tonka originally had beef. He defended who? The doxxer? I'm not sure. I didn't see that, if that's what we are talking about there. But plot twist: Monkey is actually Chris Saliza. Wow. Who hates humanity more, Omegon or Satsu?
Should we have a hate off?
You probably should. I feel like you would win just because I love Omegon, but he is so even keeled. Even when he's upset, he's still even keeled, and that his voice, the way it comes off, it's like he's human Xanax.
You know what he is, and I thought that too. Like he was just universally that way until I saw his video about samurai. Well, yeah, you see the video about the creepy kid that likes to send nudes to women and harass them and shit.
No, you're talking about the Gabe video. No, I haven't watched his on it.
Oh boy, yeah, he was a little heated in that video. I was like, oh man, Omegon is not happy.
Sanguine said you stumbled in your speech and said nugget, which made me think of a midget pillow person, so I needed to share that weird mental image. Oh, thank you. What was I trying to say when I said nugget?
I don't even know.
Normally I remember the ones that I screw up because they make me laugh, but yeah, I missed that one. Did you see the racist FedEx incident on Twitter? I caught the video because I saw FedEx was trending, so I went to look it up. There's this the video unfortunately starts in the middle of everything, and there's this very, very pissed off black FedEx driver and this smarmy looking white dude recording him, and it's hard to tell what happened before then. The guy's mad about something. He says in the video that the guy had come out swearing at him, so there's no need for that. And he said he'd wait there for the cops, and he gets in the truck, and you hear the guy, I thought you were waiting for the cops. He goes, yeah, I thought you said you were going to kick my ass. So I'd love to see the entire video from both sides if there's any more to it. But with what I saw there, I can't make any judgment about what happened other than at least that guy didn't beat that other dude's ass because he looked big. That driver looked big, man. And you couldn't really see the white guy very well to see if he was big, because it's kind of from a little bit of a distance to see if he'd had a chance. If it would have been a good a Rocky IV fight, that could have been awesome. But yeah, I can't say much now. The guy who posted the video said that FedEx fired him for it. Him and his co-driver, whoever it was that was recording the incident, because it was from the FedEx side of things. And then people who are boycotting FedEx now, cancel FedEx because they need to hire this guy back. I don't know what was said to him, if his reaction was justified, but I'm having trouble thinking of many things that would justify that reaction, to where if I was his boss, I wouldn't be like, I have to fire you here.
Yeah.
Walk away. This is your job, man. And again, if the guy came out and was swearing at him, why aren't you wearing a mask? Go fuck yourself. I'm going to kick your ass. Okay, then that was justified. But short of that, I'm having trouble.
I've been seeing a lot of videos of people getting in fights with people who aren't wearing masks, which seems a little counterproductive, I think.
It's amazing how many people are caught on video bitching about people not wearing masks, whether to fight or not, don't have one on.
Yeah.
That teacher who yelled at those students, a whole bunch. Why do people who make decent, entertaining content get throttled and shut down, but political hacks who lie out their asses for clicks can become famous overnight? I can't figure that out. It's called playing the game, my friend.
Oh yeah. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, you got to play the game. You have to hit the right notes and suck up to the right people. If you're just out there making your content, it takes a long time to just slowly build up to where people find you, and then they try to tear you down.
Yeah, and true to the point that I was making over on Facebook, people just like bullshit. It don't have to be true bullshit. It don't have to be accurate bullshit. It don't have to be correct. It just has to be drama, and people will latch on to it. They don't give a fuck about the details.
The resistance is one of the things that comes to mind. If you come out there and proclaim yourself part of the resistance and start shouting really loud, bosh, you can get a pretty quick following, and YouTube won't hate you for it because you're still hitting on all the right political notes. Because they still toe the line. They don't. I mean, Vosh might swear, but he doesn't, come out and question anything about COVID. Whatever he's told to believe, he believes for his streams. So it's playing the game. That's all it is. It's not as much about ideology as you guys might think. It's part of it, but it's not all that. Andrew, thank you so much for the sticker. There it goes. It was just a blank box for me. It's person raising their hand yelling me. Andrew, are you out there without your mask on? Where are we at here? Oh, wow, that jumped a lot. There's okay. I love that Ranting Monkey is slowly moving to where I was 3 years ago when it comes to giving back to scum what they hand out. You can't beat fire with platitudes. I'm not sure how you mean of being with you there, because I still don't believe in fighting fire with fire. For instance, I was doxxed this morning. I would never dox the asshole who did that to me. I wouldn't be like, ha, that's what you get, fucker. And if it happened to them, I'd be like, that's not cool. I still have my principles. Now, if somebody's being a complete hypocrite, I might giggle to myself if shit happens to them. But I'm not going to go out there and promote it or support it in any way. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious what you mean by giving back.
Also, too, a lot of misconception to that statement that you just made is like, we won't be upset about it. Like if somebody doxed that person or whatever, we wouldn't be happy about it. I wouldn't be mad. Like I wouldn't feel bad for that person. I'd be mad at the person who did it, but I wouldn't feel bad that karma came and bit this dude in the ass. My anger would most likely be directed towards the person who did it. Like, why would you do that? Like, now you're a shitbag like he is. But I wouldn't feel bad for the dude.
It depends on what we're talking about. Because like a doxing, I would still feel bad. Because I mean, that's somebody throwing all your personal information out there, making you vulnerable to the world, kind of thing.
Yeah.
If we're talking about cancel culture, I have less of a problem with that. Where feeling bad for the person, I'd still be like, you guys shouldn't be canceling them. But I'd be like, you were part of this just 10 days ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's universal for me. Like literally anything. With the exception of probably like fucking murder or rape or something like that. You do something to somebody, I won't feel bad if it happens to you. I would be mad at the person who did it, but I will not feel bad for you at all.
Like I've said a million times, Schadenfreude is only legitimate if what happens is a direct consequence of that person's own actions. If it's something done unto them unfairly, or if it's something that just like the bad luck of life, lightning strikes their house or something, I mean, you can laugh at it, but it's not legitimate as far as I'm concerned, Schadenfreude. It has to be them hoisting themselves upon their own petard kind of thing.
All right.
Fair enough. Roger Reynolds says, well, I'm off to watch Monkey in the Morning. Enjoy. Mata says, oh, lords, would y'all try a slice of bacon wrapped pizza a slice of garlic bread, and a box of milk.
Like what? Like powdered milk or something?
He wasn't more specific. Yeah, I'd try it. I love milk.
I guess a carton could be considered a box. It's square-ish.
Yeah.
I suppose. I guess
it's a box.
Is that like boxed wine, boxed milk?
Sean asked, did y'all notice the socialist in the article? Or did y'all notice in the socialist article, the non-binary thing had to do the capitalist thing of paying dues to join her cult? Oh, yeah.
Good one.
To join up for him, you got to give him money. Ranting Monkey, would you consider participating in a wheelchair fight? Hitting wheelchairs? Wheelchairs?
Yeah, I know exactly. It's like, Jesus.
That seems over the top. If I was in a wheelchair, would I fight somebody else in a wheelchair? Probably not, because there's not a good way to do that. At that point, you might as well just
jousting.
Wheelchair. Yeah, there you go. Did you talk about Mika Brzezinski going full Karen? No, we did not. She lost her shit. Donald Trump, apparently, I haven't seen the tweet, so I don't know exactly what it says, but he suggested Joe Scarborough is a murderer, apparently.
Oh, right, because his old office assistant died years and years ago or whatever.
Yeah, the official ruling in the case is that she had some kind of heart issue. She fell and hit her head and died.
Right.
But for a long time, people have been suggesting that Joe might have been involved in her death. And apparently Trump tweeted something out about it. Like I said, I didn't see it. I can't tell you how definitive he stated it or whatnot. But Mika, she went on to the Morning Joe and defended her man, y'all.
Yeah. Now, Trump said, he mentioned Scarborough in a tweet, and at the end, he said, open cold case. He didn't directly, I don't think he directly mentioned the secretary. I could be mistaken, but at the end it did say open cold case in reference to the death of Scarborough's assistant or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is not true, but whatever, I guess.
It's Trump. Like, I'm going to be talking to Twitter to see if they can do something about Trump breaking their terms of service every day. Who's with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, whoops. We've been down that road. Sorry.
Boss Karen has arrived.
Well, she went from I want to get him completely removed to Twitter, why aren't you at least removing his bad tweets?
Bad tweets, yeah.
Yeah, his untrue tweets. Why don't you go back out there and run cover for Joe? Just ignore Trump, sweetie. You ain't going to stop him. The only reason anybody gives a shit of what you say right now is because you started fucking your boss, so stop it.
If Twitter was in the business of erasing baseless accusations, then a lot of activists would be in trouble right now. So
I'm fairly certain part of Mika's tweets would have to go away.
Right.
NOTN. I think it's probably supposed to be LOTN. Being as PooTube only suggests mainstream shit to me, what channels do you guys dig that you'd recommend? Oh, well, the ones that I watch the most are probably Razor Fist and Crowder right now. Crowder mostly because he does long form content. I throw it off on the side while I play video games.
Well, what genre are you looking for specifically? Because I watch a variety of things from all over the place. So, and I watch them all very frequently. So the Game Grumps are like regular entertainment when I'm watching gaming stuff. I watch Binging with Babish and a couple other cooking channels when I like to check out recipes and do research for stuff that I want to make. I watch Box Soup for speed runs because he does fucking horror game speed runs, which I like to watch. And I watch a bunch of shit, man. It depends on what you're looking for.
Right now, we've been playing Fallout, and it reminded me of how much lore there is. And I've been watching lore videos on Fallout. Series I'm watching right now, it's the lore of all of the known vaults. But when I'm done with that, I will probably never watch anything else from that guy again because it's a very specific thing I was looking for, you know?
Yeah.
Scribbles, any notable people you want to name?
Trying to think of anybody that I haven't mentioned before.
What did you have before? Like Red Letter Media is one of your favorites.
Yeah, Red Letter Media is constant. I mean, they have a whole library full of stuff. Best of the worst. Pick any episode, and it's hilarious. I like Rycon Role Plays. It's all one title. He's got some really good series. I don't watch every series of his. Some of his don't interest me so much, but his Fallout 4 Frost Survival series was great. He's going to start up a Fallout New Vegas Dust series, which I'm looking forward to. He does a lot of like narrative storytelling through video games and stuff that's really good. And he wrote his own tabletop role-playing zombie survival game. It's called Zealand, and it's based in New Zealand, because that's where he lives. And he's a really cool guy.
Oh, I did not mean to do that. Sorry. Where were we? The Gamer Valine asks, it's mostly just annoying to see the policing of who you follow, how you spend your money, shit like that. Ever notice the wealthy shamed actually built their income or their fortune? Why suddenly care how they spend? Because they have influence. I agree with you 100%. I don't want to see policing of shit like how you spend your money, who you follow, that kind of shit. It's none of my fucking business. If I have a specific issue with you, I'll ask you about the issue, not be like, you followed Blair White. That means you think this. Because I'm not a fucking dumbass. But to answer your question, why? It's because they have influence. So you're not going to go after Joe Bob McGee, nobody's ever heard of, and gone, he spent his money at the local 7-Eleven, and 7-Eleven hires immigrants. You know, you never see that. It's Elon Musk spends his money on this because that's who people care about. Have you watched any episodes of The Last Dance? No. I don't even know what that is.
No.
No.
Do you know what is The Last Dance?
Okay.
Okay.
I assume it's a dance competition TV show. That's my guess. I have no idea.
Keem and Ethan are both assholes, but going after sponsorships hurts all creators. Yeah, it's an adpocalypse of sorts. Now, I don't think that there's never a reason to do it. Daddy of Five sponsorships? Absolutely. Fuck that guy. He was beating his kids for profit. Keemstar's an asshole. Did you see the one video on Twitter of the skinny kid? No.
Oh, I shared that video over on Twitter that said, if you look up little bitch on Google, you'll find this. This will be like the main video. It's some scrawny ass little kid trying to fight some dude. Looks like a person who works in a restaurant or whatever. And it is the most pathetic fucking thing I've ever seen.
Kept dropping N-bombs and jumping to hit the guy, and he just got pushed away. Yes, I did.
Pulling the pants up. I'm like, oh my god, dude.
Why you touch a woman? No, was it why you touch a woman? Why you touch a girl? I forget what he was chanting there at the beginning.
I don't know. I just wanted to swat him. Just like stop it. Go sit down somewhere.
I wanted to see that guy just lay hands on him just once because that's all it would have taken.
Oh yeah, just one punch. He'd have been on the floor.
And guys, the guy was being assaulted. This little skinny kid was assaulting him.
Yeah.
He had every right to push him or to punch him, even just put him on his ass. Yes, I did. I'd forgotten about that.
That dude showed extreme patience, man. Oh boy.
It probably helped that he didn't actually get hit because those were some horribly telegraphed punches, man. Timothy, thank you. The Last Dance is a documentary about Michael Jordan's last season with the Bulls. That's why I've heard of it. Yes, no, I haven't watched it. I've heard it's really interesting though. Tells all. I did see one clip that somebody had put on Twitter about it, and it looks like it was well done, but I haven't seen it yet.
Is that why Michael Jordan's been like talked about? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is. It was. It's been a ratings hit for him. So he was fired because FedEx told him to pull the video, and he wouldn't. Well, it's still. I mean, you were associated with my company at that point. Sorry. I don't see anything in that video that justifies him acting that way, and I don't want my company known for that.
Oh, fucking FedEx is shit anyway.
Yeah, man. If I order from Amazon that is coming from FedEx, my immediate reaction is fuck.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes I'll cancel it and try to find a different because I'm just like, no, I refuse to fucking deal with FedEx. I hate those motherfuckers. I hate them.
Our UPS guy, he actually drives all the way up my driveway, gets out, gives us our stuff, and then down the other side. The FedEx guy stops at the bottom. And that motherfucker's actually left shit sitting in my yard at the bottom of my driveway. I found shit sitting next to my mailbox. I'm like, are you for fucking real? You're in a vehicle. Just
Dude, I actually had to stop a FedEx dude. Like, I watched him. He walked up to my apartment building with the pink slip in hand, put it on the door, and just walked away. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? He was like, oh, what's wrong? I'm like, do you have a package for here? He was like, oh yeah, I was just going to get it. I'm like, my ass, mother, you better.
that's why
package before I beat your ass.
Frost says after Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, who expects the Snyder cut to actually be good? That's part of what I've been thinking with all of this. I've seen his work. I wasn't impressed.
Well, I mean, if he's given an extra $20 million, if he's had this much time to look at and think about the weaknesses of the original product, if he's been given a bunch of post-production opportunity, et cetera, maybe it will be decent, because you don't usually get an entire second bite at an apple like that, especially a movie that expensive and that important, et cetera. So maybe, I don't know, but I don't know how many times it's happened where somebody's got an opportunity and a $20 million opportunity on top of all the already recorded cost overruns of that thing to redo the whole thing in a 4-hour cut.
Did y'all see the videos of Ahmaud Arbery getting arrested for stealing a TV and trespassing? Just a jogger, y'all. I didn't see him with a TV that day. Did you?
I didn't see him with a TV, no. And I also don't know what that has to do with anything.
And if you've been carrying a TV, obviously that justifies him being shot to death.
Well, hold on.
The reports that keep coming out, because I've seen 3 or 4 of them, of things that he had done in the past, has nothing to do with that day.
Nothing. Yeah. Literally nothing. And also, once again, that is still debunking the just a jogger claim. As a person who believes that narrative is bullshit, that's fine. We agree that the just a jogger narrative is bullshit, but that has nothing to do with what happened previously.
Have you heard the term gayborhood before? I want to say I read an article the other day where they mentioned it.
I think I've heard the term, but I don't recall where, and not very often.
Did you see that an account called TurboMax posted a tweet of Blair's tweet and saying the evil is defeated? No.
Well, apparently they were saying that Blair got bullied off of Twitter. I don't know. I didn't look into it or anything, but that's what I was seeing. Lauren Chen was talking about it, saying that she had heard that was the case too. So I don't know.
Well, in a way, that's bullied off of Twitter because people are going after her fans or people who follow her. And so she's like, I'm not going to let that happen to those people. I don't think, as far as I know, Blair wasn't getting any shit over this. It was the girl who was getting shit over it.
Right.
So to say Blair got bullied off seems a stretch. Seems a bit hyperbolic. Blair, what I would do is come out in defense of my fans or my followers. Like, look, there are people who follow me. Trust me, I know for a fact they don't like me. And they follow me. I can see it. It says follows you. And how do I know they don't like me? They've told me. It's all right. I hope they never get famous because somebody's going, oh, you follow Ranting Monkey.
Nobody's going to get famous following you, Monkey.
Wow, that's hurtful. That's not true. Lauren Chen did.
Oh. Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's been following me for a long time, since way before she's got as big as she is now. How dare you, sir?
Oh, all right. Okay. Well,
I make little Asian girls famous.
whoa!
That's not.
Oh my God!
Hang around Jack too long. Oh Lord, single malt whiskey, single malt ice cream, or single Maltese woman.
I'll take the woman, thanks.
Yes.
Pancakes?
Non-Vitae Rex, thank you so much. I'll say this: touching up the CGI on Doomsday to make him actually look like Doomsday would make that final act in BVS a little more watchable. All right. I'll grant you that. Let's say it would make it that part more watchable. It's still a horrible fucking movie.
Yeah. Getting to Doomsday still is ridiculous, stupid, and makes no sense.
And Doomsday is wasted. He's like in and out in what, 20 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, this is if anybody's familiar with the comic books, and I it's one of the few DC series I actually own, was the Death of Superman series. The build-up to that character, especially on top of the history of Superman and his enemies. Doomsday was like the big deal. He wasn't a sub-boss. It didn't make any sense to use him that way in that movie.
Mm-mm. Better racist dog whistle, orc, or jogger?
Oh, God. Better racist dog whistle. I mean...
I'm a fan of none.
Yeah.
I thought the orc thing was funny just because it was said sincerely by the people who were like, this is just they mean Negro. Like,
yeah.
Oh wow. You're not kidding, are you?
There was a hot take. Yeah. Whoa, look at this. God damn.
Like, So that's funnier to me. The people on 4chan who are trying to make jogger the new N-word are just lazy. Okay, looking for should every nurse and doctor in TikTok videos be flogged? You leave them people alone. They're having fun. There is an argument to be made for these poor people. They can't even take a breath of fresh air, and it's like, them bitches is dancing through the hallway. But I don't have a problem with them actually having a little fun and stuff. James Colley, thank you. Our Ranting Monkey porn directors say the same thing. And again, James Colley about little Asian women. And they're not wrong.
Mm.
But do you guys have any actual problem with the these women, the nurse videos and the doctor videos coming out on TikTok? Some people seem very offended by them.
No, people having fun. I mean, it's like, oh, this person's having fun. Obviously, they're making light of a terrible situation. And I'm like, yeah, they are. How do you cope with a terrible situation? I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, these are doctors and nurses. You don't want them curled up in a ball in the corner crying.
I mean, short of them like playing pranks on sick patients or something, I don't care.
I mean, I do think it kind of negates the narrative that's trying to be fed.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But outside of that, like I don't have a problem with them doing it. No, not at all.
Yeah, the biggest part of the negation is like, hospitals are overflowing. Like, there's nobody else in that hallway.
Yeah, it's just them.
Ranting, does this mean you can get a P.O. box and finally get that monkey chainmail? I don't know. I'll have to talk to Lady Monkey about things like that. Because I was serious. I mean, shit, it's out there. So I could start using the credit card option on PayPal or on Streamlabs again, which a lot of people have requested. So we'll see what happens.
How will Trump?
Yeah, dude made.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Sorry.
That shit is awesome. I would love to have that.
Oh, I think you meant other chainmail.
What?
Chain letters?
Like chain letters or something.
Oh. No, like actual armor.
Yeah, he made actual armor. That's right.
How will Trump ever recover from Biden's sick president Tweety burn? Oh, God. Did you guys see that?
I saw that. I was like, is that the best you can do, Biden, really?
I call him President Tweety. Mr. Biden, I'm gonna help you out here. You as well, Miss Pelosi. you don't want to get into an insult war with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He is better at it than you.
Especially while condemning him for being, childish or said behavior.
Yeah, you have just opened the door for him to say anything he wants because it's like, okay, well, turnabout's fair play, Sleepy Joe, or whatever.
And if you think he's going to stop at Sleepy Joe, he'll be like, this motherfucker's. We start calling him Alzheimer's Joe. Pincalo, thank you. The nurses aren't even the ones complaining. About like the overcrowding and stuff. No, it's your politicians who are doing that shit. Yep. But guys, it's 11 o'clock, and that means it's time for us to go away until tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time over on Satsu 2 Senses channel. Look, I remembered to do it, Satsu.
Yay.
So check us out there tomorrow. No game streams tonight. I don't know when Monkey in the Morning will be. Scribe may do something tomorrow.
Yep. If I hopefully sometime around between 11 and noon Pacific time tomorrow, I will let you guys know on Twitter per usual. So keep an eye on that. Be sure to follow all three of us on the tweeters.
Link is below, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the donations. You guys are so very kind. Satsu Scribbles, a pleasure as always, gentlemen. Everybody enjoy the last hour of hump day on the East Coast. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Your lives make us so sad.